guys, it's not inherently wrong to work out when you're sick. I mean, I'm pretty sick right now, and most guys genuinely don't really understand when you can work out when you're sick, when you can't work out when you're sick. And so I'll be honest, the thoughts, how I structure things, all of that, it might not be perfect in this video because I am actually sick right now. That's what gave me the inspiration. But I will tell you this, by the end of the video, you should understand when you can work out, when you can't work out, and all between, with the context of being sick, being under the weather. So here's the thing. When you're sick, it doesn't mean you can't work out. See, it's the same as, oh, if you get bad sleep, you can still work out. If you aren't hydrated properly for that day, you can still work out. Obviously, you'd have to be an idiot to think, oh, I'm going to be just as normal strength-wise. I'm going to be just as normal in terms of like the benefit from the workout. That's obvious, but that's not actually the point. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that when we're sick, we can actually still do more than we realize. And now, this isn't even me coming from some like perspective where a lot of other guys go, they're like, you never rest day, like always push it to the max, no matter what, even if you're dying on like a bed. It's nothing like that. When I say these things, I truly view it from like a maximist perspective. On this channel, we talk about net stimulus. We talk about weekly net stimulus, which is just your actual stimulus taking away the fatigue, and that's how you grow. The net here is based on, how much extra you have at the end of that equation, and that's when we get more muscle. And the thing about being sick is when we're sick, it means if we don't hit the gym, we're going to have some atrophy, right? It's not like 2 weeks and your muscles start losing. Your muscles start losing like 3 days after you stop working out. So obviously we want to minimize that. Now, there are cases when you're not really supposed to be doing that, and I will talk about that later. But the first thing I want to talk about is my experience of working out sick. Now, obviously, when I work out when I'm sick, I'm being respectful. I'm not coming out there, coughing around the gym, talking to people, shaking hands, hugging people. Like, that is not what you do when you're sick. When you're sick, you could only work out in a public space if honestly you do like the COVID social distancing rules. One, you have like a face protection mask on, and two, you wipe everything down, and then you like stand 2 meters away from people. So you have to not really go at rush hour. But that's not really the point. There are also other sicknesses where it's like, if it's that mild and it hasn't been a bad one, obviously you don't want to get other people sick, but if it's the sort of thing where you can go to work with the sickness, you can also hit the gym, right? If it's the sort of thing where you can get on public transport to go somewhere, you can also hit the gym. I'm sorry to say, like, people do get sick. I get sick very, very easily. If anyone's supposed to be telling people to avoid going anywhere when they're sick, it should be me, because I'm going to catch it. But all that being said, I have been working out whilst being sick, and I am also in the middle of like a 4-month cut. When I say in the middle, I don't mean I'm 2 months in, I mean I'm 4 months in of a longer cut than that. So obviously, throughout this time, I'm not in the best place to gain strength. I have been gaining strength, that's unrelated. Well, it's not unrelated, but it's like not really important for the story. But point is, when you're in a cut, you're not 100%. You're not as full as you usually are. You're not as able to put up strength as easily. You're not going to be gaining strength as easily. And all of that connected means that a lot of people already think, oh, if you're sick, if you don't feel great, and you go hit that workout, you're probably getting nowhere near what you usually do. And I'll be honest, it was a bit of a weird sensation. By the way, unrelated, I'm going off track again. But the reason I'm making this video is actually because, anyway, this guy kind of vibing about a year ago, he was sick and he said to me, Fletcher, make a video on being sick and working out. And I thought, no, that sucks, that's boring, no one cares. I think I still believe that, but I also think that I just want to talk about a topic. And here we are. But all that being said, when I went hit my workout, my strength was the same. With the added context of being in the cut, like the strength being the same, matching the same reps is pretty insane. And so the rule of thumb, I think, when it comes to this is you have to approach workouts where you only do it if you're sick from the head, the neck up. If anything goes below the neck, you're done. You're not doing it. But the weird thing sensationally is when you do the workout, you will end up noticing that it feels a lot heavier. Like when you're putting plates on something, I was doing squats. When you're putting plates on, it feels really, really heavy and movable. But then you actually have the exact same strength. It's just your perception of effort has been altered slightly. Now, all that being said, do that rule. Neck down, neck up, whatever. That's how you determine whether or not you work out. Now, when you do work out, here's what I would alter. Don't try and make progress. Just try and match what you did the previous session, because we don't really want to incur too much extra fatigue. If we do that, it's not going to be great, especially if we're coming from something else. I mean, that's part of the reason why you're not really supposed to when it's below the neck, because we're actually recovering from something where the workout's not going to be good enough. So you're just going to be adding damage and fatigue without really getting a stimulus. So you're going to be losing more than if you skipped, which sounds a bit weird because there is the atrophy period. But if you can't get a stimulus on your actual muscles, then what do you think you're doing? You're just hurting it. That all being said, work out if you're actually ready. And if you hit the gym and you're like way, way, way too weak compared to what you think you should be, leave, because you're not going to get anything.